there are 5 lakh students or candidates who are sitting in the exam, there will be a list of 500 people who will make it, 500 to 600 who will make it. Briefly, there are three branches of armed forces. That is,
Okay.
one is Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy. So we have a selection system. We get through the National Defense Academy or the Air Force Academy, Indian Military Academy, as well as the Indian Naval Academy. So through these academies, these officers get commissioned and they join forces. There also there are multiple branches. Everybody has a separate role defined. So all these officers, either from the Air Force or Army or Navy, are called the military officers. The primary role of any military officer is to serve the country and defend the land, skies, and our seas. So this is what a generic thing which we do. However, when we specialize within our inside after getting commissioned, we have separate branches and we have separate roles. However, at the end of the day, everybody is doing is what we are doing is we are serving our country and we are safeguarding our skies to make sure that the citizen, all the personnel who are here sitting in the country are feeling safe and feeling honored that they have IAF or Indian Army or Indian Navy safeguarding them. They should be very good at their maths, their general aptitude. They should be preparing. They should have a general idea. So if they are good at mathematics at 10th standard, I'm not asking for any probability and statistics on these kind of questions. These are basic general aptitude which is being sought from a candidate who's appearing for the National Defense Academy exam. This exam is conducted by UPSC and it is yearly twice. This exam is being conducted. So while you are at 11th and 12th, you please make sure all of the students have to make sure that they are from the PCM, that is physics, chemistry, math, that they come from science background and they have minimum 60% in each of the subject. So if they are fulfilling this criteria, they can always appear for the exams. And once they are appearing for these exams, they have to be they have to be prepared about the general knowledge, the little bit of science, and as well as maths, as I already mentioned. That should be able to do it. However, the second aspect, this is only the written part, and I would always call it this is the easiest part of the selection. You go for the SSB, and that is the toughest exam in our country right now, and that is called Service Selection Board, which it goes on for 5 days. That includes your aptitude, your psychometric test, your verbal test, and your physical test. So there, the complete personality, what you have, is being tested over a period of 5 days. And after 5 days, there are some selection boards who conduct medical exams as well. So after, if you pass through all these three layers in the 5 days, you get recommended. We call it, you get the recommendation from the service selection board that this candidate is fit for the selection. Then he goes for the medical. If he clears that medical, depending upon whether he is opted for Air Force, Navy, or Army, accordingly his medical is done. And once he clears that, a merit list comes out. And if I tell you a rough idea, if there are 5 lakh students or candidates who are sitting in the exam, there will be a list of 500 people who will make it, 500 to 600 who will make it. And at the end of the 3 years, after doing 3 years of training, from NDA, they go to three different academies, that is Air Force Academy, Indian Military Academy, and Indian Naval Academy, to pass through their services. So they get from the NDA. Once they pass out, that is NDA is the prerequisite for the undergrads. They go to the Air Force Academy and get commissioned from Air Force Academy and become Air Force officer like I did. And there may be Army officers and Navy officers. Subsequently, they'll be going to the Indian Military Academy and Indian Naval Academy. So this is for the undergrads. The level of fitness, you must have a certain level of fitness. Rest, everything the academy takes care of. Very well versed with the currently what industry is, what is going on, what is general knowledge, a little bit of politics, maybe a little bit of sports, science. what is going on. So these are the general requirement. However, when I mentioned about OLQs, these are 15 qualities. Anybody can go on the net and find it out. However, the basics are your analytical skills, your integrity, honesty, your loyalty, your if I have to say, your logical reasoning, your communication skills, then your sense of duty, your sense of responsibility, then initiative. That is what you'll get tested while you go for the selection exam, the service selection board. AFCAT is Air Force Common Admission Test. So
Yes.
Air Force conducts this test. So this test is, again, the procedure is same, which I already mentioned to you about NDA. So you give a written exam, then you go for SSB, then you get your medicals done, clear your medicals, then you wait for a merit list. Then if you are through that merit list, you go to the academy, you do your training. You have to clear your training, actually give the exam. I have friends who are BCom, or I have students who have just done their BA, and they are serving as a military officer. I have done BTech, but there are others. So if you have done BSc, if you've done any graduation, you can apply for it. Though the branches where you can serve will be limited, that these only branches you can serve. However, you will be a Air Force officer. You will have that equal pay, perks, and privilege. You'll have equal opportunities in life, or to serve to the topmost and become the decision maker in the future. That I will be having some kind of gun, and I will only be shooting somewhere in the standing on the border and shooting. And everybody who's wearing a camouflage fatigue is a military officer. So this kind of a misconception everybody has. I sincerely, I think that everybody should little bit of knowledge in terms of what a job of an Air Force officer, a naval officer, and an army officer entails. Everybody has a certain set of duty. Not everybody goes to the border and fires. There are people who are sitting back with their planning, they are strategizing, they are waiting for their time to move to the borders. And there are people who are gunners, the people who are from armored corps, people who are in air defense, people who are pilots, people who are aeronautical engineers, people who are, again, logisticians, people are navigators. So the roles are clearly defined, that people, what everyone has to do. However, there are general duty. We all are fighting. We are fighting arm. We are fighting forces. So everybody is trained on the physical safety, the handling arms, firing arms, even close combat fightings. These things we are trained.